Who do I think I am to go when cats I grew up with came from nothing, and you know, so that's like there's this weird. And talking to my baby mama, my partner, earlier, she learned about something where there was a girl who went through the system, and she had a very terrible time going through the system, but. You know, my baby mama, she went through the system and her time wasn't as terrible as this girl. So she's like, can you have survivor's guilt from other people's trauma? Because she felt guilty that she didn't go through what that girl went through. So that actually helped put into perspective, like, am I to a deep unconscious level holding myself back because I do not feel like I am worthy of a 6-figure job a year, regardless of, you know, my theater experiences and being a part of new media.
It sounds like you're empathetic. And because of that, you feel bad if you're successful because you see everybody like rotting on the streets around you.
It's LA, so.
It's hard. It's hard to care about success when you see people suffering outside your door.
Yes. But at the same time, I am a man of the world. I really, really, really believe in sondering. Do you know what sondering is? Sondering is when you observe the world. You can look at a person. I can look at you. I can look at you. And
why are you doing this when you look at
because I'm shooting my knowledge gun. I can look at you. I'm holding balls. I can look at you.
Why are you snipering us? When you look.
I can look at you. I can look at everyone in the room. Those are shurikens. I can look at everyone in the room and I can see and appreciate that you have a life that is as complex, maybe more, maybe less, regardless, complex. You have fears and dreams that have nothing to do with me. And I can appreciate that in my ignorance. Look from looking into that window, looking into your face and going, I appreciate that you are alive. You might be a terrible person. I don't know.
Oh, definitely.
But that's not for me to judge until you show me that face.
Right.
And so I'm not going to put that face on you. All I can do first is go, I would not want to do anything to any of you that I wouldn't want done to me. And respecting and appreciating your life, I will observe and appreciate that. And that's thinking that on a global scale. When you watch the news, when I watch world videos, like world disaster videos and world
Stop.
No. Because I really need a scope of the world if I'm going to be a person who changes it.
So you think you're going to change the world?
I don't think I'm going to change the world. All I can do is aspire to do my best to being an entity that it helps.
I see what you're saying. You want to be informed
so that I can effectively and heal as a
Pump
cell.
the brakes, Gandhi. Let's take it back.
No, I get it. You want to take
It's like you have these huge dreams, but then you're struggling with releasing an Instagram video. It's like we need to meet in the middle somewhere.
Because I recognize that Instagram monetizes the attention that I put out. I recognize how Instagram exploits me and my audience.
Of course.
So that's but I'm learning to put out content. And this is a process. Because when you're beating yourself up, I wasn't really thinking about like,
sounds like you have
how
huge
can I navigate?
Dreams.
I do.
They're huge.
I do.
And that's why you have imposter syndrome.
Because, but it's something
of course you do.
I recognize that it's something you overcome.
But you're also trying to accomplish more stuff than the average person. Ben's not trying to change the world. He knows he can't.
No.
But having these conversations,
never even considered
you never know, but you never know.
He probably could.
You never know who you're going to affect by having these conversations.
I think he could change it. You could, but you don't care to.
You literally just told him to stop watching the videos.
He shouldn't watch.
You go, hey, stop.
I thought he was watching Earthquake, like Dubai earthquake. Do you even have earthquakes? I don't know. If I watched the videos, I would know.
They paid off the earth to not have earthquakes there.
Dubai earthquake?
I don't know.
That'd be a good thing.
No, they have septic problems.
He watches these videos. I just didn't want him to like sit at home on the computer, like worrying so much about everything that he can't control.
Oh, absolutely not. I recognize that because I used to watch dash cam videos. That was the guilty. But then I realized I was getting in the car and I was panicking while I was in the car. And so I don't watch. I recognize how you observe it, you start to expect it. Now I'd be in the car like, here it comes. I stop.
Expecting the worst.
You expect the worst if you observe the worst. If you constantly observe the worst, you'll do one or two things. You'll expect it and do nothing about it, or you'll do something about it.
Did you grow up with a lot of like trauma and like chaos?
Yeah, I'm from North Philly. I
So
lost
you
my
saw a lot of
parents.
stuff.
I lost my parents at the age of going on 5
Wow.
to murder
Sorry about
suicide.
that.
Oh my God.
I had to learn to live my life and recognize that if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be who I am today. And I really like who I am. So all I can do is be grateful that they brought
That's
me into the
good.
world, and that the people whose lives I've affected positively, hopefully, I continue to live in honor of my parents, who they were very young. My mom was 22. They were babies. So they brought me into the world. All I can do is live and function in honor of their memory as a greater aspect of their potential.
And your grandma raised you?
My grandma raised me. Yeah. And she got us at around like age 40. My mom had me when she was like 18, 19. My grandma had my mom when she was like 18 or 19. So it was babies having babies. And my grandma had already raised 2 generations of kids. Right,
That's
I'm the oldest grandchild, but she had my mom, my aunt, and then my uncle Darren, and then I have a uncle Daryl who's 2 years older than me. So those 4 kids, and then she's taking care of me and my sister.
Do you ever think about that when you're thinking about your own goals? Like, what if your grandma had imposter syndrome? She wouldn't have been able to raise all of you.
She didn't have time to have imposter syndrome. That was all duty.
So you need to be busier.
Oh, that's what I'm working on. And that has to do with...
We have to make this a duty, this life goal, because there's no sense of urgency.
I was going to, answer, I guess you can respond to that, but I did have a final question.
Well, I'm on.
Okay. We're talking about the imposter syndrome. What are you afraid to do? What kind of content do you want to make?
Release content that is not of good enough quality that individuals understand and embrace it. Because I create music, but in my music, I showed it to a friend the other day. I showed her, I have a song, it's a Sonic the Hedgehog song, because I'm a nerd. Right? And she was listening to it. She was like, this hits. She was like, you're using like collegiate level words. And I'm like, but in hip hop, you're not supposed to. It's supposed to have a stuck in your head thing. So I need to make sure that there are pieces in place so that people have multiple ways to absorb the information I'm putting out. One hand to feed the other, and that constant process. I'm a polymath. You know what a polymath is?
No.
A polymath is a person who has encyclopedic knowledge of many things.
Mm-hmm.
I had to be that because I come from nothing. In order for me to get anything, I had to learn to create from that nothing. So I had to learn to edit my own videos, produce my own music, write my own lyrics and scripts. I had to learn to do all that. So in that, I'm kind of addicted, and it makes me terrible at delegation because I don't want to.
You want to do everything.
I don't want to. I have to.
If you don't you feel like people don't work as hard as you?
They don't work the same way as I do, and I don't. I want to pay people for what they're worth.
Right.
But I am not that individual who is worthy or who is capable of that right now.
Right.
Worthy, I'm learning or coming to, but I'm not capable. Like, I wouldn't ask you to edit video. That's one of the most frustrating parts. I hate editing.
Editing's the worst part of the creative process.
And people never really understand the value of an excellent editor.
And it's hard to find one too.
And I am an excellent editor. So it's stuff like that comes into play that I'm like, I will do it. But I can't mix. I'm learning. I'm meeting people who can mix music like masters and, so.
So are you worried about like not being able to delegate, or are you worried about once the product's finished, you don't feel comfortable putting it out because you're worried about the people not being able to digest and understand it?
At this point, my biggest hiccup is not releasing my music. Everything else has to do with
So your music's
time.
ready.
I have songs on songs on songs.
And they're not released.
And they're just not released.
Okay, so we'll do our sessions. I'll have you start.
I thought you were going to start.
Go to the bathroom.
Okay.
I chugged a lemonade.
Okay. I have no idea how to solve your problem. Absolutely not. I'm not qualified for this.
But you're a master.
Here's the thing. You know when I had imposter syndrome? When I was a master.
When you were, who the hell am I to master anyone?
Yeah, well, it's like you go to a school that people tell you is a good school. You get there and you're like, I'm not that smart. And then everybody around you seems like a genius. They're using words I've never heard before, like Miette. Your daughter's name? Sorry, words I'm mispronouncing. The point is, if the whole job is to be smart, and you feel like an idiot, you're like, I'm a huge imposter.
Mm.
And to be honest, I'm not doing that anymore. So I didn't overcome it.
I think, but you're exercising.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I found out that I was better at certain aspects of it that probably are happening in Los Angeles relative to in academia. I was good at proposing. I was just full of shit, basically.
A performer.
I would go up and go, here's what I'm going to do in this study. And everyone's like, whoa, that sounds awesome. And then I just wouldn't do it.
What does that mean?
So you propose.
Like you gaslight?
Pretty much. I would gaslight a study. It would be too ambitious. It would be impossible to do. And they're like, whoa, this guy's crazy. This is awesome. And I would get grant money and then not be able to do it. Does that make sense?
So do you feel that
This is good. Now it's my session.
Do you feel no. I'm because I'm learning through you.
Okay.
I'm mirroring.
Yeah, that was kind of the idea. Yeah.
Because do you feel that I am aiming too high? Even with music, because this is the thing. This is the thing you have that isn't said. I don't release my music because I listen to all sorts of music, and I listen to old school funk music, which is the highest of quality. Even though it's low, but everything is clear, right?
Mm-hmm.
My standard for audio and for how I want my music to sound is held by Kanye. And those engineers are whipped like racehorses. And I don't have that, right? Like,
right.
I'm not in audio. I'm learning, and I have robots that are helping me, get the sounds I want. But there's a certain sound that I'm not getting that's holding me back. I'm not worried about my lyrics because my lyrics are dope.
Right.
I'm not worried about my beats because ain't nobody making beats like me because they dope. I need everything to be clear in terms of and I have other and I think that's the same thing with I have novels in my head. I build worlds in my mind. I love
Probably
it.
Video games too.
Video games as well. I want to make fight. I want to make a beat 'em up. Like a video. I love Streets of Rage. That's one of my favorite games. And I know exactly all of the elements that made that my favorite game. I would love to make something, that is representative of hip hop as I embrace as being an entity and a child of, right? In video games that is of high quality. Def Jam Vendetta and Def Jam quality.
That actually sounds amazing.
Have you played those games?
The
Def Jam,
original game?
The Def Jam Fighters.
No, I've never played Def Jam Fighters.
You can play them now. People go back to them all the time now. And they're like, this was the best. This was just the best. And they don't have that anymore. So
So you'd re-release or
no, I would it would be in honor of, but it would be I remix. I can't make anything that is a copy of. It goes through my filter. It comes out as it's meant to be.
That's good too.
So with my music, my struggle, thinking about that, and I don't feel like I would be a sham, but it needs to be as clear as Kanye's music, right? Like that's how I feel like when it comes to my music.
Did you just walk in front of the camera?
Did I?
Just keep going.
Okay.
Gang life.
Sorry. Now I'm gaslighting her. I think. I don't know what gaslighting is.
What gaslighting is? Gaslight. You know the song "Wasn't Me" by Shaggy?
Yes.
Okay, so
that's gaslighting.
Wasn't me. He went to Shaggy for advice. Shaggy is telling this man to gaslight. She saw me on the floor.
Oh,
wasn't me. I had her on the counter. She got video. Wasn't me. That's gaslighting, which you did something, you blatantly, but you start to make the other person think that they're going insane or that they're insane and they
got it. So Emily's saying she didn't walk in front of the camera.
Would be gaslighting.
I'm just lying.
Yeah.
It was gaslighting.
Okay.
And then eventually there's a way to judo flip it and turn it on the other person. Well, you always, and then it turns into something that it's not.
Okay. Now it's all making sense. But you were I think you were onto something with the imposter syndrome in relation to my thing, maybe being too ambitious.
I mean, I am hyper ambitious. And
the thing is, I don't think the ambition's a problem, but you kind of have to trick yourself into aiming a little lower so you can do it.
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
I know a lot of people who have big ideas out here and they work at Starbucks. You know what I mean? They're ambitious people. I'm not saying you're the same.
Panic? I don't even like coffee, bro.
No, you started shaking and punching.
Yeah.
For a nerdy guy, you're a very aggressive guy.
I'm a b-boy too. I'm a dancer. I come from a martial arts background. I am a product of North Philly, which means being tough. That's all a part of my entity as well. Because embracing everything that I am, but anything I release, like, it has to be dope. Like, I can't be, hooky, doiky, doik. Like, if I'm singing about a sheep.
When I thought of something that wasn't dope, that's what I thought.
Barney in the shower. Like, it's not dope. If I'm going to release a song about anything, if I'm going to release anything about anything, it can have, because I want to enrich lives. And usually people who are motivators and, are enriching, it's so hokey and corny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for me, it has to be...
Getting to know you for the last 15 minutes, I don't think you're capable of being hokey. I don't think that's not physically possible.
I am.
You're so, like you were talking about what your grandma would say about me. My grandma would be like, what planet is that guy from? In a good way.
Yeah.
But she's never seen that before, which is good.
So funny.
You can't be hokey if no one's ever seen what you're doing before.
I would like to believe that, but I think that comes from being an 80s baby, and when you're different, growing up when you're different, why your pants fit?
Yeah, oh yeah. No, at all. Anything remotely different, you get called out.
Your shirt tight?
Yes.
Like it's form fitting for my body. No, that joint tight. Your nipples suffocating, bro.
Yes.
And I lived in that.
Yeah.
Right. But eventually everyone caught up with us as nerds. I've seen it. I grew up listening to rock. Now hip hop is rock. Cats wearing studded belts. They were coming into it, but they even more so out in the open. Now you can see everybody balls because everybody pants fit. Like they caught up.
Yes.
But, and that's where I'm learning to overcome that imposter syndrome, recognizing that everything might not hit. But I tend to be, as a nerd, as nerds tend to be, because we study, observe, and learn and experiment ahead of the curve.
Yeah. You got nothing to be afraid of.
I just
go for it.
Trash, or if you don't read, it's the lack of attention. I think that's the biggest concern. Like, what if no one sees? What if no one sees? The market's flooded. Everyone's putting out trash, and you see trash get attention.
Well, yeah. The very, very best stuff, I mean, it's a cliche, but like the people who make the best stuff aren't even recognized until they're dead, usually.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I say just die. And then they'll release all your stuff. You can't be an imposter.
Tupac, Machiavelli, the situation.
You know when the imposter syndrome goes away?
When you're deaf. When you have no feelings at all. That's so funny. There's something, so this is the thing though, thing about death.
Okay. Go with that for a second.
Because a part of I believe my imposter syndrome comes from embracing my ego death. Now I'm in a process of reawakening my ego because I have a concept of understanding of the concept of the ego that I don't believe other people are tapping into. Yeah,
well, but the ego death, that kind of helps, right?
It helped, but now he need to wake up, bro.
Right. Well, it's a yin and it's a give and a take, right? Because you need to have enough ego to make the stuff, and then you got to have the ego death to allow yourself to put it out and not be too worried about what people are going to think.
That I hadn't considered that it's an ego death to put it out.
I think
I make the stuff, but that doesn't come from ego. The ego death comes from me making the stuff. I need the ego to put it out and be proud of.
That's interesting, but
that's what I'm doing.
But here's the thing: that ego is what's making you self-conscious about putting it out too.
He's not awake.
Okay, now I don't know what we're talking about.
My ego is. I think of the ego as a separate entity, right?
Yes.
Do you watch anime?
No, I don't.
Japanese animation. There's a Japanese anime called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Okay.
In JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, different entities have hyper abilities that have transcended through generations. Like if I wanted to move the camera, I will move the camera, and usually it happens and they're out of control. They don't know why it's happening. They don't have the proper training to understand their ability. People who have that ability can see those people's abilities. They're called stands. That's how I see the ego. If you don't know, if your ego exists to protect you and serve you ultimately. If you don't know what to focus on as a danger, you'll lash out and you'll fight to struggle to protect yourself.
Yes.
I'm not worried about that anymore. My ego is like a pit bull. Pit bulls aren't bad dogs.
Right.
Pit bulls have bad owners. Pit bulls are the most loving breed out there. He's trained. He just needs to wake up because my ego's mad at me because I put him down.
There you go. No,
that's
great.
what I'm dealing with.
Well, yeah, you've sounds like you've learned how to use your ego as like a fuel source
to serve humanity because I'm not worried about protecting myself.
Again, maybe we're aiming a little high with humanity here. that's I do think that's kind of the root of the imposter syndrome. You're like, how's humanity going to feel about this?
Act locally, think globally. I
Yes.
think in terms of global heroism, local heroism.
Yes.
Act locally. I recognize that. I have a community I have a local global community through Discord and even Twitter and Instagram. So my local, as much as it is heroism, even in LA and creating creative collectives, exists digitally.
Yep.
So I'm not worried about I think globally,
Mhm.
but I'm not worried about the global perception. I'm worried about the local, making sure the local understands and appreciates, because they are the ones who give the attention, that share the attention.
What was that? No, just kidding. I think you're ready, man. You can put this stuff out. You've put more thought into the process of creating content than 99.9% of people who do anything. You can do it. And the issue is, like, you're at a point where it's like paralysis by analysis. You're overthinking it a little bit. You're ready.
Paralysis by analysis.
You've heard that before.
Yeah. No, I haven't. That's great.
Oh, okay.
The rhymes stick. I stick.
Yeah,
the
there you
rhymes.
go. Oh yeah, you make music.
I'm an MC.
Yeah. If you think about, you're suffocating yourself thinking about this stuff so much, you can put out the music and plenty of people will like it. I can't speak for humanity, but plenty of people will like it. It seems like you got a unique take on what you're doing. You're making stuff that you're proud of. Let people listen to it.
Yeah. Man, you need
Well, I think that's a nice way to frame it, right?
I just need to put it out.
It's good. You like it. You like what you're making.
I love my music. My friends love my music because I show
There
it.
you go.
I show it. I'm like, every time somebody come up, I'm like, let me show this genre real quick.
And they think it's great.
So
you're doing, you know what you're doing right now? You're doing humanity a disservice by hoarding your music. Put that stuff out. And make a video game.
Make a video game, yeah.
And write a book.
Fun, you gotta figure out who's gonna fund that. All that stuff be money.
Well, the thing is, if a lot of people listen to the music,
it'll fund the game.
It'll fund anything.
Which I would make the soundtrack for the game.
And you talked about novels. You don't need any money to write a novel.
That's true. Just time, which is also a currency.
Yeah, no, and sure, maybe you're low on time, but like, you can spend some time writing.
Time making enough currency, you can buy time.
Yeah,
to write.
There you go. You pay. Then you get someone who's actually good at editing to do the editing for you.
Yes,
which costs a lot of money. But if you're making enough money, then you're fine. And then you know what you could do? You could, instead of wearing that thing around your shoulder, you could hire a guy to pull your shoulders back.
Yeah, right.
So you have good posture.
So your posture.
You wouldn't even have to worry about your attire anymore. You could just have a guy draped around your.
Whisper.
You could literally, you could have a relatively small person hanging on your chest, holding stuff for you, and then another guy pulling your shoulders back.
This is monetizable. Why would I pay people to do this when I could just get these made and sell them?
I mean, if you got enough money, you can do it. You can do that one day, and then you can do this the other day.
I could sell them like Kanye. You know, could Kanye be selling mediocre clothes, but they be selling.
That's valid. And
what's this, a rag?
The human being who pulls the shoulders back is not monetizable.
No, it's not monetized. Being monetized.
You can't buy that guy.
I'm paying for his kids to go to private college.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're helping humanity.
I guess if I can, I would. That's a write-off. Can you write that off? I don't know what rich people do.
Write off, you're like...
my employees.
Your shoulder butler.
Shoulder butler. Is he my Bootsy Farnsworth?
I think you're doing good, man. Just don't overthink it.
Yeah, it's the quality thing.
But you know it's good quality. Enough people are telling you. People you respect are telling you it's good quality.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
Then you got nothing to worry about. And then you'll get even more people's perspective on it when you put it out, and that'll inform the next thing that you do.
They're leagues behind. I have so much music. I have like albums, like themes. They're themed. Like, they're all themed. Philo Boy, that's my Philly Joel.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got the Nerdsworth, That's my nerdy joint. That's the free joint. That's the joint. I made a Super Friends beat. I made a Powerpuff Girls beat. You watch Gravity Falls? I made a Gravity Falls beat.
I love it, man.
That's all for free because I don't own those to, and each song is about uplifting people. The Gravity Falls beat is called Imagination, which is about being creative and imagining a better place so that you can create a better place. Right? Like, but it's through hip hop.
So that'll be $300.
Cool. Yeah,
I think you're onto something, man. What do you think about the one-on-one?
It was great.
Got somewhere, right?
Conversation.
Yeah, good.
You're mastering.
There we go.
The mastery shows lack of effort.
What's that?
The mastery shows in like making it look easy, regardless of how you might even feel. They're like, this is gonna be hard for you.
I'll take that as a little bit of an insult, but that's all right.
No. You can't because masters make shit look easy.
There you go. That's why if you're at home and you're like, this guy's not a good therapist. No, I'm a master. That's why it looks like I'm not trying at all because I've mastered it.
Master, this is easy.
Yeah, he makes bad therapy look easy. That's a master. No, you were great, man. Thanks.
Cheers.
Thanks for doing it. Emily's gonna step in.
All right.
I didn't hear much, but I wore my Yeezys specifically for you.
Did you? Are you wearing Yeezys?
And you call them mediocre.
They are
mediocre.
Listen, you
These
can afford them. How much you pay for those?
$350.
You can afford those.
When the government was paying for me, I could. Yes, I could.
You gave Kanye some of this stimulus.
Kanye benefited the most from all that EDD money. Thank you.
Dang it, that's fantastic. But listen, that's my personal opinion. That's value.
Yeah.
I can look at a painting and be like, that painting is whack. That painting is value. And people put value on those things.
Do you
That's
think you could make a better shoe?
Yes. Because I make shoes for motion.
Do it.
Yeah, sucks. I do. K-Swiss do be looking at me.
Listen, I think I don't know what you and Ben talked about. Where did you guys leave off?
We left off. He says he thinks I'm ready.
I disagree.
Okay.
I think there's a reason you're not putting it out.
Okay. Because
it's obviously
trash.
not as good as you want it to be.
It isn't as good as I want it to be.
I think you need to try a little harder.
Okay.
But I also think like there already is Kanye. You need
I'm not trying to be Kanye.
You can't.
I can't. I don't want to be. I'm not that crazy.
No, but you don't have to like. The one thing I did over here was something. I'm not supposed to say that, right?
It's okay.
I mean, let's just cut that. I'm not supposed to know what you talked about.
I'm here, cheat on this test. Let's go.
I think there's a reason you're not putting it out. I think if you really thought, I don't think your goals are consistent because on one hand, you're saying you want to move humanity and help.
Uh-huh.
And on the other hand, you want to make like the best music ever.
Uh-huh.
So what makes you think the best music ever is going to help humanity?
Because music transcends language. People learn languages. Jackie Chan learned English.
I agree.
Through music, through learning songs in English, right? So there are people who are redesigning themselves and falling in love with K-pop artists. And
love K-pop.
They're changing the world. They've changed the world. People are learning Korean and learning lyrics and speaking new romantic languages that they want spoken to them through learning these lyrics and through these individuals. So thinking about music and how music affects humanity and how music is timeless, I believe I am capable of affecting humanity predominantly through my music because that is a thing that transcends time and space and gets stuck in your head. You get movies stuck in your head, right?
Music
but
more.
You get a song
for
stuck
sure.
in your head. And that thing got free real estate.
Well, think about all the bad songs that are stuck in my head.
But they're still stuck in your head.
So why are you not releasing yours then? There's a reason why.
Because
you believe it is ready to move humanity forward.
For me, it's about packaging. Like in this age, audio tend to need to run to hand with a visual in some way, shape, or form, or a visual
graphic
plan.
designer.
But I graphic design my own stuff, which puts me limited on time.
You need to find better people to collaborate with.
I do need to find better people to collaborate with. That's where the delegation comes in, right?
Yes, you do have trouble. I think that you need to really search for the right person that's going to really be on your wavelength.
I've been thinking about that. Like
you need to find someone as talented as you, but like has different skills, so
and
you
we
guys
could just
can
hang out.
complement.
And I've been thinking about
somebody
that. Like
because you need that little. That person's going to give you that little extra push, and they might be that little missing thing that you that maybe there's a reason you're not putting it out. Maybe there's like one hook or something missing, and that person is going to have your answer.
But we don't know how to find that. But we post-pandemic.
You'll manifest it.
I will.
I found it. I couldn't find a graphic. I had a graphic designer quit. I was doing cannabis branding. A graphic designer quit. I literally didn't know what to do. So I went on Clubhouse and I wrote, why are graphic designers so flaky? That night, I got all these graphic designers in my room and I found like almost like a kindred spirit soulmate connection designer that is now helping me with a documentary I'm producing. And it was like a vibe. It was just a vibe. So you need to find somebody that's not like...
That's fun. That's a fun
but I like
marketing for Clubhouse. The fact that happened.
I know. Right?
Of all places.
That's like the one great thing that happened on that app. But like there were so many people that were throwing themselves at me that I could already tell like it wasn't going to be a creative match. Creative matches I think are more difficult than love matches.
I feel that.
It's much easier to fuck than to create an album
because the creative process tends to be one of flow and yes and versus one of impact.
It's just so like there's so much more to I think like putting an album out there to me that's so much more work than like just having sex.
Yes. It is. It's a bigger commitment. You put an album out. That is a piece that defines you.
And it's so expressive and you need to say so many things and it needs to move. Like the relationship's more just about like the two people in it. This is like something so you need to find somebody that's really going to help.
So I need to find.
It sounds like you have
It's a muse. It's a new muse. I have several muses. Like I feed off of muse energy. And the thing that I've come to learn about muse energy because I've come to a point in my life like I've been here, but like, I don't want to be ruled by my libido. That is a thing.
You don't seem like you are.
I do.
You seem mental.
I don't want to be.
You seem more mental than primal.
That's where I'll get trapped. If
yourself.
I meet someone who's like mental and I'll just be like.
Sapiosexuality.
Yeah, heavy. So with that, like, because I don't want to be ruled by my libido, I understand that. And you go, okay, what does that mean for me as a heterosexual male? Usually, if a man sees a woman, he wants to fornicate with her. That is what? An act of or a recreation of creating something new. Taking that energy and understanding and appreciating it. And once you go, I'm going to create something in your honor, or I would like to create something with you. Once you go, take the sex out of it, you can have that same feeling for a man. And you can have it like, yo, you gave me an idea. I love you so fucking much. I'm about to create something in honor of you. So
that got me more pumped up.
That's the strive. That's the strive for because let's make a soul baby. Let's make something. Musicians do it all the time. You hurt me or you make me feel so good. Listen to this song. You may not never know who the song is about. You might be able to fall down a rabbit hole.
We don't have to know.
But it moves swabs of people through time.
And you never know why a song's going to move someone. You can't assume the response.
All you can do is express what you're feeling. And with muse energy, which is literally just like wanting a person or appreciating a person so much that you want to create in honor of them with them, taking the sex out of it if it is someone who you might normally be sexually attracted to, you create with that energy. So that's what I've learned to do with, I forgot how we got here.
I feel we were talking about how you need to find somebody that's
yes, and so with that, so I don't know if it's a man or a woman. I don't know who.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's going to be who it's going to be. Yeah, it's going to be who it's going to be.
It's just like you need someone on your wave, and I feel like you need someone to get you excited about what you're doing again. It's almost like you're overthinking the results so much that you kind of forgot why you're doing it to begin with.
I know I'm doing it. Well, yes and no, and yes.
You need to get like that.
I know why I'm doing it, but
you need to get that energy back.
Yeah.
Who cares if you have like, don't worry so much about, oh, my lyrics are too complex. Like, people love that. You don't have to dumb yourself down. And if you do, you'll find out real quick. But you're never going to know until you put it out. I don't think you're putting it out, though.
You don't think I'm putting it out?
What are your thoughts right now? I've told you don't put it out, and then I told you put it out. Did you see this shift in you each time?
Because you told me to put it out because you started to believe in me after listening to me.
Right. So that... because you talked when we got it going, you really started to. I could feel you were believing in yourself more. You were excited again. When you first came in here, you were like, "Well, I want to do it," and then you were going.
That's me. It stinks. I mean, it's the OCD of putting all of pieces. I'm doing it.
Music is vulnerable. It's the most
is.
vulnerable art. Like, I remember I couldn't even sing in front of anyone. Like, I could do stand up, but like singing used to be like really hard. But I've been alone in the pandemic doing karaoke alone in my room with laser lights. So I'm fine now.
You're killing it though.
Well, I'm not gonna sing right now.
No, you want to do a duet?
Maybe later.
Part of your world. Let's
do
go.
when Ben's back in the room. It'll really make him cringe. I think that, like, what were we saying? Something about singing. What was I talking about?
Oh, you're singing. You singing your.
Oh,
room,
it's vulnerable to put.
Yeah.
For some reason, like, do you feel like you're like, if you put it out, are you afraid of failure, or are you afraid that it's not going to move humanity forward?
Literally, I think it's just failure in terms of attention. Not getting enough attention to make the impact I know I am capable of making, the impact I aspire to.
Are you connecting with people that can help your music career?
With time. That's a thing I'm currently working on, recognizing that it is a weakness of my own. So learning to talk to the right people and serve as I am served.
Yeah, I think you need to ask for more favors.
I don't want favors.
I think you need to ask people for help more. I think a lot of new artists, they got to where they are, not by just being recognized and noticed, but like they put themselves out there and they just asked, hey, will you listen to this? You don't have to be the guy in Hollywood Boulevard doing it.
No. They're going to rob you.
Yeah. You don't even be that one.
Yeah, they're going to rob you. Like, listen to this CD. Be like, no, I'm good, homie. I don't hear. Like, you better keep walking because you're going to have a problem.
I think that you don't want to ask. I feel like you're like too nervous to ask somebody for help. You want to put the song out there, and then everyone's like, "Oh my god, did you hear that
whole
song?"
Albums. It's about
how many albums?
It's about packaging. Like, at least.
Who gives a fuck about the cover?
I do, because I understand marketing and advertising.
But you're not going to have to deal with that, because in the day and age we're in, if you put out like a really good song, it's going to be a TikTok trending song. All of a sudden, it's going to be all over the place. Put out your best 15-second loop. You'll have all the kids dancing.
This actually just gave me an idea.
And then you don't have to worry about the marketing, because all the ad agencies will contact you and they'll say, hey, they'll do it for you.
That's what they do for my other content.
Do you think that skateboard guy that got famous on TikTok got famous because, like, do you think he had an album for his, like, remember that one I'm talking about?
The guy that new millionaires. Who got famous on TikTok?
That guy, you guys know the guy. The cranberry juice guy.
Oh.
Do you think he was worried about an album cover? He literally hopped on a skateboard and smiled.
But how is he monetizing that now? Because the average person who falls into that position.
He's doing a million commercials. They have him doing tons of different ad placements. He's basically the face of cranberry juice.
I should turn off my ad blocker.
You're intellectualizing a trash world. We live in a trash society.
Put it in the trailer.
This is trash. You're not.
You're intellectualizing a trash world. That's so sad.
You want everybody to be really smart, and they're not gonna be. So you either have to, like, be dumb with them, or just accept that if you do put out something too intellectual, some people might not get it. They want a guy that puts, like, a foot in their mouth, like, literally, like, a pie in face. Like, that's the society.
I've embarrassed myself in my life enough.
I don't want you to do that. But the stuff that goes viral is like, it's like a squirrel chasing a lamb.
That's so funny.
You know what I mean? Do you think they're thinking about? It's nonsense.
Or it has rabies.
So if you're worried about and I'm only bringing this up because you said that you want attention. The dumbest shit gets attention right now.
That is terrible. So you gave me an idea. Having this conversation gave me an idea, because I do understand and love and appreciate marketing and advertising. And I have a puppet, and his name is Flitz, and he's going to be upgraded. But and
he's a puppet too. Jesus.
But I'm doing a series where I'm doing some of my favorite songs, and he's rapping the songs and going buck. So taking that concept, and that's one of my most popular videos right now on Facebook. So if I create those and I'm consistent with those, and I do one every other week or one a month, by the time I'm releasing my songs, I could do one of those from my own songs, and people will look for this character. And I might, because of cognitive ease, you know what that is? Cognitive ease is when you've been exposed to something so much that you have less and less and less and less and less of a problem with it, because you're familiar with it. It doesn't affect you in a way it initially did when it was very unfamiliar.
Like abortion.
So
for some people.
Yeah. your whole body would just stop. Like, yeah, we get it. And so, yeah. So with that, cognitive ease, me applying flits, doing these songs that people know and love, and then they get used to flits. And then I do one of my songs and they love that song because they love flits, not just the songs that flits.
So you're going to have a puppet sing for you.
Dumb shit, get shine, yeah?
There you go. But we have to remember why you're here today. I'm not a marketing
This is
advisor.
therapy, though. These are
therapy.
answers. These are answers these are solutions.
These are solutions to your temporary little like marketing schemes.
Marketing to release my music.
Right. But your issue is that you're saying inconsistent things. You're saying you want attention, but you also want to change the world. What if you put that song out and you change one person's life?
That one person
Would you be
matters.
satisfied?
Yes.
Because, sure?
Because that one person, the people whose lives you change the most will sing your name through the most praises.
What if they never do?
Then they probably died halfway on their way. I can't
do you
deal
actually
with those
want
ones.
the popularity, or do you actually want to change people's lives?
Popular. We live in a modern time where attention is currency. It is my job to perform online, right? And the more attention you gain for what you're doing, the more attention others who are giving that attention can give. That's how the net works. That attention that I give that enriches your life can be shared with someone else, and it enriches their life, can be shared with someone else, and it enriches their life. That's why I worry it won't get enough attention.
You want an audience, obviously.
I have an audience.
But you want more of an audience.
I don't want people to shun what they don't understand. And I have methods. Like I said, cognitive ease, that's a part of the nerd aspect of it, because I rap very positively.
Are you rapping about cognitive ease?
I can. Because it's a thing that's constantly exploited. That's what all the nostalgia porn in the modern age exists nowadays. So and I learn about that because recognizing when I'm being exploited and allowing other people to empower themselves so they're not being exploited, I put it in my music and wrapped in a bit of cognitive ease.
You're going to hate this suggestion, but I remember when I was in 3rd grade, we had this like rapper that came to our school and did like math raps to help us learn our times tables.
So, but
you could totally be the new math guy.
I don't know about math. Math is the devil.
Because you should combine all the things you're good at and like make it you. You have the nerd part of you. So is your album reflecting the nerd part of you? Or are you trying to be all like cool and silly in that?
Oh, I am.
You're all of that. You're all of it.
It's enriching, but it's not corny. That's why I was saying
hokey or whatever.
It can't be hokey. Like it gotta be like dope. Like they gotta be like, yo, he's spitting. Oh snap, he's spitting something that's really nice though. And then they start learning the lyrics. Right. That's allowing me through others. That allows me to cast through others a positive spell. Because once they start reciting words, sip on this tea, my Darjeeling, raising up conscious, I am serving. The code that I'm spitting so unseeming, you're manifesting the spells you sing. Enriching. You say that, if they say that, they go,
You have Russell Brand vibes. You know, it's good.
I didn't have the heroin addiction though.
Neither does he anymore.
Yeah, he got over it. Now he's Daddy Brand.
Let's not shun people for their habits.
Oh no! Oh, it served him. It served. He got it.
The darkness led him to work.
Yeah, he's an angel.
He's in a mountain talking now.
He is very much so an angel.
He's probably wearing this, but in white.
I had to consider myself like Russell Brand.
No, just the way you like communicate. You're both really strong communicators. And you guys have a lot to say and you have a lot on your mind. And sometimes you got your mouth. Like I was considering taking an Adderall just to listen to you. Because I'm like, I'm going to have to really listen. You know, when you guys talk, you have to be like dialed in. Your raps are probably the fastest raps I've ever fucking heard. I don't know. Someone play the tape. As we conclude this, before Ben comes back, are you going to put it out or not? Because
I am. I think you both definitely helped. Like
I first said you're not ready,
but then through conversation,
we found ways that you can. I'm sure there's some songs that are ready to go that could be viral on TikTok right now. I wouldn't worry so much about the goddamn cover art though, because like it's not like you're gonna have a billboard yet. Once the song hits, then they're gonna do it for you. Artists don't need to worry about all that. That you're such a perfectionist, you're trying to do every little thing. It's like how I fucking hate this wall. Why is there not more fucking paintings on the wall? I'm not a designer though, and I gotta accept that. You know what? I don't know. Maybe this wasn't the right blue. Okay, and that's fine. But like as artists, we can't be good at everything, and I think you need to like forgive yourself a little bit and trust that you will find someone that's as you respect their intellect just as much as your own, that you can give them some delegated tasks like designing
That
a
was
cool
such
album.
an easy thing to get when you're a kid, though. Like
Help?
you have your best friend, like your best friend who like likes all the same things, and now you're adults and you're like, I gotta go to work.
But you probably were the kid that did all the work on the group project.
I had a best friend who we were a team. We both had janky toes, so we went by violent toenails. I have like hammer toes from b-boying and slamming my toes everywhere, and he had like a big toe that would cut into his other toe, and like
sounds like a cartoon.
Gnarly, it was weird. We were a video editing team producing sketch comedy.
So you need a friend.
That's how it works.
The person you find that I'm telling you to find today will be a friend, and it's gonna be a stronger friendship because like we said, it's almost a spiritual process, a creative process.
Absolutely.
So you hang out and you're creating something together, so the bond will be much stronger. So let's bring Ben back in, my fucking creative partner.
So I know you guys just had a great one-on-one session. Everyone ridiculing me during the previous session. You shamed me into changing.
They shamed you. I was on your side.
Nerdsworth, no, I'm just kidding.
Off camera, you did.
I joked. Jokes aren't shaming.
He's making it dramatic.
Yeah. But it felt like more of a therapy session for my shirt.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not at all.
But I'm glad you're in a better place now.
Hey, look at me.
We made you better.
Yeah. So,
he's excited.
Good.
He's ready to rock and
roll. I feel like we covered some ground.
He's like, his energy has shifted in this session. I've noticed when he first walked in, he was more closed off. Now he's like, his arms are open. He was doing this in the beginning.
I mean, he's literally wearing a contraption that makes his arms open.
At the beginning, it seemed like he was in his head. He seems so ready. He's pumped up now, ready to go. He's not doubting himself. Imposter syndrome is all about doubting.
Yeah.
You're like totally, you believe in yourself.
It's a thing I've been fighting with. It's recognizing it, knowing it had a name helped me recognize it to combat it. And I think that's so, and this conversation really did help because it helped show me how much farther along I am in terms of combating that and processes that I've taken, because there's a lot of moving pieces and I have ADHD. So, I get lost in all of my thoughts, but recognizing that ultimately all of it is ultimately meant to serve the bigger picture. All of the different things that I'm doing. There's a lot of pieces. Like yes, I do need great album art, but I have cover art for individual songs and I have like an image, but it's a matter of music sounding right.
I don't think it's imposter syndrome. It's obviously that you have a lot of shit to do and it's not all done. You don't doubt yourself. You think it's all good. I asked you, are you good at graphic design? You said, I'm fucking great at graphic design. Yeah. He's excellent at everything. So it's not self-doubt that you're dealing with. It's just a matter of you have so much going on. You have to prioritize what's important and put that out.
I think that's the point we're at now. Because
even
then before it's like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to put it out. I don't know if I'm going to put it out first. But now I'm like, okay, I have ideas.
You seem excited. You seemed excited 5 minutes ago. Ben got in the room and now you seem like you're doubting it.
No. Now I'm contemplative and strategic.
I'm part of this therapy session to remind you that there is doubt.
Okay. There is doubt.
Not everything works out.
Yeah.
Sometimes you change your shirt and nobody cares. Sometimes you think you're making a big change and no one really gave a shit to begin with.
But you feel more esteemed.
No, not anymore.
You seem more comfortable in your shirt.
I did. Esteemed because steam a shirt.
It's literally esteemed, this shirt. It's also it's what's his name?
Shirt.
It's Blake's shirt.
It's a shirt you wear.
I feel like it matches the color better.
I borrowed the shirt from a guy who's like half my size, which is why I had to roll the sleeves up. It's a long story. So who do you think gave you the better...
Well, what did you take away from both of our sessions, if you could kind of summarize each for the...
yeah, that's good. How about that?
Me and Ben had better conversation when it comes to...
Thank you. You can stop it there.
When it comes to the inner turmoil dealing with... I'm as much as I need, and I'm like nudging my ego like, yo, what are you doing? I'm sure to great degrees, I'm still also asking permission as opposed to commanding, recognizing as the master of that entity that exists to serve me. And that has to do with mutual respect of an aspect of self. So as opposed to commanding, because that's when things get out of control. But that helped me better even grasp the concept of what I'm playing with in terms of that energy in my ego and putting content out and what the ego is meant to serve in a grand scheme of things. You helped me in a method. You helped me in a method in terms of
Emily's like, that's why I won.
You're theoretical.
Yeah.
You threw a few psychology buzzwords out. Nerds are these such a master.
So which one's the competitive one? I forget.
You helped me in a method in terms of ideas and even in terms of like the coming in with the doubt, and me being confident, no, that's not it. Like you can have your doubts and that's okay, but this is what it is. And this is also possible. And this is possible. I could do this. Right. So they're honestly both very extraordinarily valuable. I think it depends on, and I think they're equal for me personally.
We're going to have to see in 3 months.
We're going to have to see in 3 months.
That's cool.
Because if I just don't release anything at all, I just sit at home and rock like, I lied to them.
This might give you the push to do it because now there's this subconscious deadline.
Yeah, well, and this now, I mean, with that, I'm being held accountable. Yeah. I'm being held accountable to apply what I've expressed and show you what I'm aspiring to be like, this is what it is on a table. This is what I put out. You know what I mean? I guess if you want the analytics, I could give that, but I don't like numbers like that. I just want to, it's not about numbers for me. It's about, it is about numbers. It is because it has to be, because that's what it is culturally. But ultimately, it really needs to be a thing. It needs to be stuff that gets out because no one else is doing what I do. No one else is saying things the way I say them. And no one else is making music the way I make music.
You sound like Kanye.
I said after listening to Donda, I said I have Kanye energy without the insanity.
I agree. Are you also Gemini? Dude, everyone today's been a Gemini. What the Geminis need the most therapy, I swear to God.
Because we have the most conflict.
And you're so willing to talk about it. It's great.
Because usually it's just us talking with us. And dealing with that echo chamber, I don't talk a lot. Believe it or not,
you need to get it out.
I don't talk a lot. When I'm home,
you're alone, quiet.
And working and thinking and processing and
all
learning because I learn all day. I love learning.
That makes sense. That's what's going on with Kanye.
Yeah, he's just studying, so he becomes
sitting in silence.
A better billionaire.
Then he goes on the Tonight Show and loses his mind.
Yeah, because he's not working out the things in his mind.
Right. And he's also not you're probably more verbal than Kanye. Kanye thinks
he locked himself
music.
In
he's a composer, basically.
Yeah.
He thinks in music.
And he has the luxury of high value, which puts him in a position of status where people really don't want to disagree with him.
Right. But he's probably not even communicating in words that often.
Probably not.
You know what I mean? He's just making music.
Read my thoughts and know.
Yeah.
And so it goes. Yeah, no, I don't have that. And I and observing that and understanding and appreciate that, I hope to never have that. But yeah, there's a video that I recommend you both watch called Kanye Made Kim, but Who Made Kanye? And that video is, you were like, oh, damn.
Speaking of videos, where can we find your videos?
You can find my videos on youtube.com/The Nerdsworth. I am also on Instagram.com/Nerdsworth and Facebook.com/Nerdsworth. I'm on Twitter, which is a junkyard. That's Twitter.com/ that's @Flitz. That's Twitter.com/Flitz. But yeah, that's my stuff. And then I'm pretty inconsistent on my YouTube. It's pretty bad, but I'm consistent on Facebook because they're trying to get their game up. So
okay.
I'm helping them.
And after this session, maybe you'll be more consistent on every platform.
Hopefully, yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully consistent at putting your music out.
Hopefully, yeah. Yeah, neg me, please.
And just remember, there's people out there that hate Donda. So there will be and
that's really sad because
so remember, there will be people that hate what you do.
But
people will hate your album.
Because I know people I'm a part of a music collective. We're a clique called Gertrude, and we make hip hop. I'm mentoring them on hip hop because they want to be rappers, but we make fun music. And we had a listening session with Donda and multiple people. It changed the way they listened to and understood and appreciated music.
Wow.
We did the same thing with Drake's album and we fell asleep. So
Same.
so sleepy and boring, bro.
Can people get the Gertrude stuff online too?
Yeah, Gertrude is online. It's all under Gertrude for Hire. Right now we have one song out that we're rocking. We're working on a King Arthur, Knights of the Round Table. John, we're like a nerdy Wu-Tang. But we have a song out called DPMB, which stands for Disney Pixar Mommy Booty. And I am absolutely positive that you would listen to it and be like, this drum bang, but also I love it. It's
all right. That was it. That's honest therapy. I mean,
thank you.
That's
That
all.
was
Thank you.
honest therapy.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I
Thank you,
can't
Ben.
say
Thank
that
you,
it
Emily.
can't say we did
We
much for
needed
you. but-
longer with him.
Yeah,
This
seriously.
could have been hours.
This could have been an immersion.
I'm here for it. We'll come back and talk
You
about something
seem like
else.
you're more excited to do the music again though. After
I am. I need it. I was. It's that like.
This kind of pumped you up.
Yeah. Because I don't get to talk
Okay.
about it like that.
We have to stop. This is
Okay.
it.
We're doing-
No, we are stopping. We're just talking after
Okay,
the
now we're
show.
done.
Okay.